is a recap for the Bold and the Beautiful, Monday, September the 7th, 2015. At the beach house, Wyatt is sitting on the couch and he's going back and forth with Ivy and Steffie about deleting the video. Ivy says to him, better not dare delete the video. So Wyatt tells Ivy that Steffie is not a murderer and she can't continue to go back and forth spreading nonsense about Steffie. And Wyatt says that he's going to end it today. So Wyatt and Ivy go back and forth about deleting the video. And Wyatt tells Ivy that she's wrong for doing what it is that she's doing. Ivy is not convinced by it, and she still doesn't want the video deleted. So she goes on about Steffie killing Allie. And Ivy tells Steffie how she should have thought about her consequences before she killed Allie. So Wyatt tells them to stop arguing back and forth because they're family and they're Forresters. And all the while, Wyatt is telling Ivy that the video doesn't make Steffie a murderer, and admits that he enjoyed watching them kind of go back and forth, teasing each other and scaring each other with that video. So Wyatt tells Ivy that he understands that, that she's suffering and she's going through a lot, but she can't continue to hold Allie's death over Steffie's head. So Wyatt tells them that they need to get over it because they don't need another tragedy in the family. And Ivy tells Wyatt that Steffie being accountable for killing Allie is not a tragedy, but she needs to pay for her actions. So Steffie whines, back and forth, telling Ivy that she didn't mean to hurt her. It was an accident. She wasn't trying to kill Allie, but Allie was trying to kill her. And she's wrong for trying to blackmail her and hold that video over her. So Wyatt tells her to remember what Allie stood for. Allie stood for family, honesty, and truth. And then Wyatt tells Ivy that she knows Steffie didn't kill Allie on purpose. It was an accident. So Steffie explains how Allie was swinging a tire iron at her, and Allie was literally trying to kill her, and she even tried to run her over with her car. Ivy whines about Allie being her best friend. She begins to tell Wyatt and Steffie how Allie was her best friend and how she feels somehow responsible for her death, and she believes that Steffie needs to pay for what she did, and they should have paid more attention to Allie because they knew she had a history and that she was sick, but they missed something. So Wyatt convinces Ivy that the video will do more harm than good, and Ivy tells Steffie that she knows that she's not a murderer and she didn't intentionally kill Allie. So at Ridge and Caroline's place, Thomas thanks Ridge before leaving, and Ridge tells him that the three of them are going to do some really great things together. Ridge can see that Caroline is kind of preoccupied, and of course Caroline is thinking about what happened with her and Thomas when they slept together. So of course she's preoccupied with things. So Ridge asks Caroline what's wrong, and she said it's nothing. She's just thinking about that it's a lot to process and a lot is going on. So Ridge apologizes to her for dropping so much on her at one time, and Caroline is excited, but yet she's saying it's still a lot. She's saying she's really excited about the fact that they're going to have a baby, they're going to have this family together, it's what she wants. So Ridge says that he shouldn't have let her go, and he apologizes for that, and then he tells her that he doesn't ever want her to hurt. He wants her to be happy. So Caroline is convinced and says that he was only thinking about her best interest, and then Ridge goes on about never wanting to be without her, and they begin to kiss. So Caroline tells Ridge that she's going to be a mom. She's all excited about it. She starts describing the baby and the little fingers and the 3 o'clock feedings and all this other kind of stuff, and Ridge tells her that there's one more step that he would like to take before they actually start having babies. And he shows her a sketch, and on the sketch it's a woman in a wedding dress and the words that say, "Will you marry me?" So she gets all giddy and all happy and everything, and he kneels down with one of the largest, prettiest rings you ever did see and says, "Will you marry me?" So she's all excited, and she's talking about the size of the ring, and she says yes. So Caroline and Ridge hug, and then they hang out in the bedroom, and they talk about how they need each other and how he wants her to be happy. And then Ridge goes to get champagne and discovers there is no champagne, there's only beer, so they celebrate with beer. And back at the office, you have Brooke notices that something is going on with Thomas, so she asks Thomas if he's okay. So he says yes, and then he tells her that she's looking at the newest member of the design team. She congratulates him and says, well, I knew your dad would come around sooner or later. And then she goes on about Caroline and Ridge getting back together, and she says how she can't understand why Ridge would get back with Caroline, knowing that Caroline wants to be a mother and Ridge doesn't want to have kids. He's already had his children. And then at this point, Brooke is having a flashback to where Ridge told her that he had a vasectomy. And Thomas goes on to tell Brooke about how surprised he was, too, because Ridge is one of those do now, think later type of guys. And then Brooke says that the poor girl, she was feeling kind of sorry for her because she's gone through a lot within the last 24 hours. So Brooke tells Thomas that she's sure that isn't what Ridge wants. This has been a recap for The Bold and the Beautiful, Monday, September the 7th, 2015. Like the video if you like it. Comment if you have a comment. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, spoilers, and reviews on your soap and reality chat. Thanks for watching.